What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, host of the Philly Talk podcast, but today we are back. It's been long overdue. Battlebirds podcast in the building. You know what I mean? It's been a while. This is the real slow part for content. The Eagles had what I would say a pretty decent offseason thus far. When you look at everything we were able to do with a money standpoint and just adding some talent to a young roster. But again, Battlebirds podcast, for those who are new to BBP, go ahead and introduce yourself, my guy to the right.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Steven Hyder, Gate City Sports Channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. It hasn't been daily because we are outside of list, which I'm pretty sure we're going to get into. There ain't been a whole lot to cover other than Zach Ertz still not traded in list. That's pretty much it, guys.
And Philly Fresh can't hear us, but we can hear him.
Hey, listen, man, I know what's on me. I can't hear nothing that my guys are saying right now. We're going to figure that out. But that, man, you know who it is. You know what it is, man. It's your boy, Philly Fresh, a.k.a. the General, man. We are back. We back like our spinal cord. Seriously, man. It's been a long time. But I told y'all, I seen all the comments in the live. I had to make sure I got with my guys, man, and we back now. You know what I mean? If y'all get a chance, you know what I mean? Make sure y'all go to each one of our pages, like the video, comment, subscribe. You already know. I got some merch out there trying to push that, man. I appreciate all y'all memberships. We got all three of us got memberships. Make sure y'all go subscribe to all the memberships. I'm going to try to figure out why the heck I can't hear anybody right now, but I'm going to let y'all take it away. Go ahead, y'all.
Sounds good. While he figures that out, Gate, I mean, you've been quiet other than the Chris Sims list. I did see your video on the Chris Sims list, and you make a point. You know, it's good to come out and dispute and debate it and talk about it because it's a topic, and you know, maybe we shouldn't give it all the attention that we were. But a list is just a list. But it's not even just when it comes to the quarterback position. You got us just looking like an overall bad team.
I just like somebody scanning for cable.
It's fresh. Anyways, Gate. How do you feel about the general consensus of us just being a not good team at all? Like us coming into this season being as good as we were last year or worse?
I mean, look, man, I don't know how good this team is, Mike. I have no clue. It could be way better than what these analysts think. They could be on point. They could. I mean, it's really hard to tell at this point in time just how good or how bad the team is. I'll say me personally, Mike, I'm a little higher on the offensive pieces around Jalen Hurts than some of the analysts are. I mean, speaking of list, you know, Miles Sanders was 27th, I want to say, or something like that, right? It was deep.
Yowzer.
Yeah, I mean, I think Miles Sanders is a little better than that. But look, I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't have eyes. And Miles Sanders did not have the fumble, Ruski issue last year either. He did. He kept putting the ball on the turf last year. And that was, if I remember correctly, that was a concern with him in college too. But after his rookie season, it kind of looked like, yes, he wasn't utilized a lot as a receiver at Penn State, but he showed decent hands his rookie year, right? Made a couple of rookie mistakes, that season in 2019. But for the most part, he really wasn't putting the ball on the turf. And then there was a regression last year in certain aspects of the game. But my question is, Mike, is how much did the altered offseason last year affect guys and give like these really bad, performances from the 2020 season? And that's the thing with like a guy like Miles Sanders is that I don't know how much of that came from a lack of reps. And then he had the nagging like hamstring stuff to begin the season. Mike, I don't have him as low as 27th. I don't know about you, man. I don't have him top 12 or anything like that, but I definitely have him top 20.
Yeah, I said 15 to 22. You can make an argument for anywhere around there. You want to be a little bit overzealous, call it 15. But again, yeah, the fumbling issue was the main problem. I don't really see a regression in his running style. I seen a regression in the fact that Doug Peterson didn't want to call the run. He was nicked up though, missed 6 games as well. But I mean, 3 plays of over 70 yards, 5.3 yards per carry with over 150 touches. So it's not like he had such small sample size. That's why the 5.3 yards per carry was up there. Over 150 rushes is still a decent sample size. I think he had 161. The main regression, I would agree, was his pass catching. He went from a wide receiver type hands, really good, looking like, because remember our rookie season, he was catching 35, 40-yard bombs. He was like our most explosive playmaker, and that did tail off. It started with a couple miscommunications from him and Carson Wentz. Then he dropped some gimmies. I still remember when he put the move on the outside on the comeback route, looking like a receiver, and Wentz missed him on that one. But I agree there. Fresh, can you hear us?
Yo, that I'm back in full effect, baby. What's going on? The boy is back. What's going on, man? What I miss? Damn. My bad, Joe.
So let's get your opinion on it. So we talked about just being disrespected in general, but the first list we talked about was Miles Sanders being 27th. Gate said he's not going to have him top 12. I said I think Miles Sanders, you can make an argument between 15 and 22. I'm pushing closer to 15 than 22, but 27 is just outlandish. What is your take on Miles Sanders' sophomore season and how they ranked him at 27?
That was the other list that I was talking about backstage.
Yeah.
To me, it's not just about Miles Sanders. The list is atrocious. Like, and he got the same name that I have. You know what I mean? Like, dude is tripping. Like, when you look at it, like I probably like Hunter Nixon is a toss up to me, but I think Miles Sanders does more. You know what I mean? Then you got these dudes that never even played in the NFL. You got the kid from Kansas City ahead of him. Like, you got all these names that are not better than Miles Sanders. Let's keep it real. And I blame Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson is the reason why, and I guess Maurice Jones is just tripping. But other than that, man, like, you got to blame Doug Peterson. You didn't get his kid a chance. And I said this in, I want to say my last video, the video before that. You robbed this kid. You robbed this kid of having 1,000 yards probably the last 2 years. You don't want to run a freaking football. The first game, well, Miles Sanders didn't play, but still, the first game, you chose to throw the ball 62 times? Mm-hmm. 62 times when you up 17 to nothing. And that's a problem, man. Like, we, to me, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think that Nick Siri, we all know he's Sirianni, but I call him Nick Siri. I don't think Nick Siri is gonna do nothing like that. And I keep looking at the losses that we have. Yes, I have, because I wanted to see how this coaching staff would change. I don't think that Jonathan Gannon is going to give up a 21-point lead in the fourth quarter to the Titans and we lose in overtime. I don't think that Jonathan Gannon is going to give up 17 points to the Panthers and we lose that game. It's all about adjustments. You cannot go. I don't care who you are, because we done seen it with Doc Rivers. We done seen it with Doug Peterson. We done seen it with Jim Schwartz. You cannot go into any game and thinking, I am going to try to put a square peg in a round hole. If it ain't working, you got to switch it up. And that's where your coaching staff and you as a head coach, as a defensive coordinator, special teams, whatever you are, that's when you say, oh, this ain't working. Let's switch it up. Yep. In-game situations for the Philadelphia Eagles has been horrible.
Yeah.
Even I'm gonna keep saying this. We know how we felt when we won that Super Bowl. But let's keep it tall like City Hall, y'all. If we lost that game all we would say is Jim Schwartz let Tom Brady throw 505 yards on us. They put up 600 yards of offense on us. This is atrocious. It's still atrocious. Now we got the Super Bowl. We have the trophy. So that made it bittersweet to me. But I still look at that. I still look at the fact of Tom Brady still has the highest playoff yards in NFL history on the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was very bad. It was very bad. Like, especially in the second half when they made adjustments and just started using Gronk. And instead of you making adjustments to that, you said, you know what? I'm just going to have my guys on the island. You see what you see, Tom Brady, and then you just pick it apart. Because that's what I don't think Gannon's going to do that. I don't think Nick Sirianni is going to do that. That's what Jim Schwartz did. Everything that's in front of you is what you get. It's nothing disguised. It's nothing. We're going to let our defensive line go try to eat, put everybody on the island, and I don't care if it's Rasul Douglas on a speed guy, which is stupid as hell. I don't care if it's a Vontae, who is fine, on a guy that's 6'3". It's pitch and catch. It's pitch and catch at that point. And it was atrocious. But now I think that you're going to see adjustments. And I think that we do need to get into the CB2 situation, but I'll let y'all go.
No, I agree with all that. And like you said, the only reason why it's not a talking point, and I've said this last year on a lot of things get forgotten when you come out with a win. Things get maximized when you come out with a loss. You know, even in the win, you could critique stuff. But shout out to Robert Dredden with the $4.99 super chat already. Shout out to Philly Talk for bringing that fire for all Philly sports. Bird's going to ball out this year. And, the elephant in the room is always Dallas stinks. And I co-sign that 100%. Listen, I love the show Hard Knocks. I will not be watching it this year. The Dallas Cowboys are on Hard Knocks. And, I hope that has something like a Madden curse type thing going on. I didn't really look at the analytics on Hard Knock teams either being good or bad. But I hope so, because what can go wrong will go wrong. Look at them on paper. For the last 5 years, they look good until they hit that green. Shout out to Joey Shakes 72. I hope you are enjoying your vacation. I did see you went on vacation. Still getting a couple Eagle videos in on vacation. I hope you're enjoying it. He coming in with the $1.99 super chat.
My God, I text you too. I didn't get a text back. I'm on the top about that. All right.
There you go. Right, so on vacation.
Yeah, I saw a comment.
I'm texting before the vacation. Go ahead, go ahead, Steve. My bad.
I saw a comment where they were talking about Joe Mixon and Miles Sanders, and they were comparing them. I'm not ready for that debate, Jalen. I'm not walking into debate I have not prepared for. but I will say this. What do you guys feel about Jamel Singleton, who was Joe Mixon's coach in Cincinnati, being here as a running back coach and as, associate or assistant head coach? Because this is a very different dynamic for the first time in Philadelphia in a long time without Deuce Staley leading that room.
That is big. Go ahead, Mike. Yeah. I think it's big. I think he's going to do some. I think he's going to help. I think Deuce Staley was a great coach, but whenever you get a new coach, good, bad, ugly, sad. I mean, you don't want the coach to be bad because that can make a downfall. But I like Joe Mixon. I like the growth of Joe Mixon, and so I'm going to use that as ups. And I'm not saying he's better than Deuce Staley, but whenever you got a new coach or a new boss, you got to show out a little bit more. You're not as comfortable with him. You might not have as many relaxations in conversations and film study in practice. I'm not saying Deuce was a guy who let them do whatever they want, but still, whenever you have a new boss, you just got to show a new thing. And that's why I'm excited to see what even the veterans on this team does, in the sense of just, we got new coaches everywhere, from linebacker coach to cornerback coaches, defensive coordinator, quarterback coaches, running back coaches. So I like the dynamic.
I agree with you. I do too. I like it just because it's something different. And I do like Deuce. And I feel as though the running backs always respected Deuce. I thought Deuce was one of the coaches, other than our offensive line coach, that was probably one of the best coaches on the Philadelphia Eagles. Like when you combined what two coaches do, and I'm so grateful and happy that our offensive line coach is still here, because man, he got some young talent. But
yeah,
to get back to Deuce and our new running back coach, it's probably something different. And I'm not saying that Deuce's voice probably wasn't being heard, because I think it was, but it wasn't being heard by the coaches, and it definitely wasn't being heard by the organization. It was just time for Deuce to go. And I'm gonna keep it real. Sometimes it's just time. It's just time to part ways. You know what I mean? It happened with Andy Reid. It wasn't like Andy Reid was a bad coach. It was just time. And sometimes it's just time, no matter what the dynamic might be. No matter if that coach isn't happy, no matter if he's not getting the job done, but he's still a good coach, but he's not getting it done in the situation that he's at. Because now look at Andy Reid. He's a freaking Super Bowl champion. Been chasing that for so many years. So new scenery sometimes is just the best thing. And I hope Ben Simmons gets new scenery soon. But go ahead, Eagles.
Yeah.
So, kind of, there was something you were saying in there, Reese, that resonates, which is sometimes you can be too familiar with the front office, too familiar, with your general manager compared to ownership, compared to everybody. You know what I mean? Even your head coach, there can be too much familiarity there between an aspiring guy that wants to move up the coaching ranks. And let's be real. I mean, Deuce got a lot more years in Philadelphia than what Doug did, but they were teammates once upon a time. Back when Andy first got here, Deuce's perspective that, nobody wanted to lose Deuce, but it did feel like that. Like there's just no way that promotion's going to come for Deuce this way. Not from Philadelphia. It didn't feel like it. I saw a question by Jalen where he was asking about Jamel Singleton, and I don't, to be honest with you, man, that's really hard to say because I don't think he has too many years coaching in the pros. Let me take a look. No, primarily he was a college guy. Then he got to Indianapolis in 16 and 17. He went from Indy to Oakland to Cincy, and then finally to Philly. Looking at those teams, Jalen, and like I'd have to go watch something where he's talking about some of his philosophies and what he believes in. But 2018, I have to go back and see who the coach was in 2018 for Oakland. But you're talking about Cincinnati in 19 and 20. That's you're talking about spread concepts. So you're talking about a spread concept in the coaching staff there. So I mean that's Taylor. So I mean I'm going to guess that he's probably pretty familiar with the system and the scheme that we're running here. And then there's probably some familiarity with, although he did not overlap with Nick Sirianni, obviously coming out of the Indianapolis coaching tree from the staff prior to Frank Reich and those guys coming in, like there had to be, there's probably some front office at work here to where guys kind of know each other, you know what I mean? That are plugging in from Indianapolis to Philly to stuff like that. Probably going on, but I don't know, man. I don't know if he's going to teach, what some of the principles will be that he'll teach, man. We'll kind of have to wait and see until we get film from this season on to see what he's teaching running backs to do.
Hey, real fast before you go, I definitely agree with you, Gates. Before you go, Mike, real fast, I got to shout out MM, man. If y'all don't know, that's the guy that make the keychains, the Yodak keychains and everything, man. I seen man here, man. He put in that work for me, and I appreciate it. You know what I mean? If y'all don't know, if you subscribe to the membership or whatever the case may be, you get a free keychain, and that's the guy that made them. And they dope as hell, man. Shout out to him. Seriously. Go ahead, Trump. My bad.
Nah, big facts. But yeah, man, it's going to be an interesting dynamic, the new running back coach. I just can't wait to see how all the coaches do, because we are a huge question mark. But again, when you try to do your due diligence and reach around, look around, figure out who everybody is as much as you possibly can without actually seeing them play, I have good feelings. And that's what I'm going to leave my final notes on before the season is they haven't shown me any reason to doubt him, so I won't. But I don't want Eagle fans to get all crazy if the beginning's a little bumpy. Again, Nick Sirianni, first time doing this. He might get some jitters in exactly how he wants to call the plays. He knows what he's going to do. He got the game plan, but we just got to see. But as you see on the screen, Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, and Devontae Smith, that's going to be a combination that I'm very interested in learning about. It's going to be what propels our offense. But I want to ask you guys this, since we're still on the running back list, kind of talking about that. How big do you think the run game in general is going to be for the Philadelphia Eagles? I think it's going to be huge. I think we're going to be more heavier running. I mean, you can't go less than Doug Peterson, but I think it's going to be more balanced. I think we'll be, again, if I want to compare it, like the 2017, I'm not saying running style and third and rushing, but I think we're going to use it, and that's including our quarterback, because Nick Sirianni's not, I mean, I don't see nothing that says that he likes to, run the quarterback because he hasn't really been in that situation. But one of the things that benefit by having a guy like Jalen Hurts is his legs. You don't got to use it all the time, but why take that dynamic away? You got to put some RPO quarterback runs in it and have an extra blocker. What is your take on just the run game in general, the bruisers, Jalen Hurts, and Miles Sanders?
I'll be honest. Yeah, go ahead, Reese.
Coming from a running back, right? This running back room is so underrated. When you talk about having Miles Sanders, Kerryon Johnson, the young guy that we just drafted, who even knows what we're going to do with Boston Scott? You know what I mean? I like this running back. This is probably, other than probably the offensive line and defensive line, this is probably we got to see what the wide receivers want to do. So, to me, this is probably the third best group on our team. You know what I mean? Like, Kerryon Johnson is such an improvement, and we still got Howard that you can have for trade bait if so big. You know what I mean? Like, this running back room is deep, and I don't think we ever been this deep. Like, I'm talking about since I've been an Eagles fan. Like, just think about it, y'all. Have we ever had this much talent in the running back room? We always been screaming. Remember Josh Adams about 3 years ago? You know what I mean? When we made that playoff run. You know what I mean? Corey Clement was okay for a year. We had LeGarrette Blount for a year. And that when we had LeGarrette Blount, Sproles, Jay Ajayi, Corey Clement, those four, even though we know Sproles didn't play, he only played like 4 or 5 games. But Clement came up. You know what I mean? Then we got that. We already had Blunt. Then we got Jay Ajayi. That's how we won the freaking Super Bowl. We was third in the league in rushing. Third.
Correct.
And now I think we getting back to that, y'all. I'm not saying we're going to win the Super Bowl this year, but what I'm saying is running the freaking football is so much better for everybody. It's better for our offensive line who likes to push and not be pushed back. It's better for our quarterback who can stay cleaner, who can manipulate, and that's
who can stay fresh.
That's not
no pun intended.
And that's another thing. He can manipulate the run also because he can run.
RPO.
I'm trying to tell you this. If used right, this running back core is going to be crazy. Don't sleep on Kerryon Johnson, man. I'm trying to tell you. I watched this kid. I even had him in my fantasy 2 years ago. The dude's a baller. He's a baller.
Gotta stay healthy.
Know if given the football, if given the football, what Miles Sanders can do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We do know he got fumbleitis. We do know he got to cure that up. He got to get that right. You know what I mean? But then when you bring in a Jordan Howard who is a bruiser, And then a kid, I can't remember the kid that we just drafted, man. Somebody please refresh my memory.
Kenneth Gainwell.
Kenneth
Or as
Gainwell.
Philly 500 would say, Professor Kenneth Gainwell.
A scat back that not only can be used, can be used at the running back position. You can put him in the slot. Let's keep it tall. Let's keep it real, yo. You can put this dude in the slot. So this running back room to me is scary. I ain't gonna lie to you, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see it, man. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, Gabe, before you go, I want you to bring this into your conversation a little bit if you watched any of this, because that was going to be my video coming up. I mean, I like what Doug Peterson did in the Saints game because the RPO was just scary with how Miles and Hurts both had 100 yards rushing because they were scared of Hurts as much as Sanders and Sanders as much as Hurts. But go ahead and talk about the run game that you see for 2021 Eagles.
I see multiple aspects of this. The first thing we can go into is who's on the coaching staff, what was brought in, and what their background is. Shane Steichen. Shane Steichen worked with a young quarterback last year, right? I mean, let's just be real. How did he supplement the learning curve for Justin Herbert? Through the running game. And I had Charger fans that were, because you guys know I made a video early on where I talked about the Eagles potentially having interest in Shane Steichen because of his relationship back to Nick Sirianni. And it was just a wild, lucky guess, guys. It's not like I had any intel to that, man. It's just understanding where these guys have relationships and who they know across the league. But Shane Steichen got criticized because he was running the ball in downs in situations that, Charger fans didn't agree with, which for Philadelphia, that would almost be a blessing just because we've been so deprived from running the ball in such common sense situations that any kind of drastic change is going to be that. And Shane Steichen comes from the Anthony, not necessarily Anthony Lynn tree, but he coached under Anthony Lynn the last couple of seasons in I keep calling them San Diego when they're Los Angeles now with the Los Angeles Chargers. But the Chargers, Anthony Lynn, very conservative play caller himself. Like you get what I'm saying. Then you throw in a guy like Nick Sirianni, who Nick Sirianni doesn't strike me as a conservative play caller. He strikes me as a creative guy that tries to find opportunities for the running backs. That's what I don't know if we're going to be like one of these teams that's really balanced, like almost 50-50, almost, 55-45 or something like that with the pass to run ratio. But I will say that just following all the tea leaves with Nick Sirianni and the way he likes to manipulate matchups and utilize running backs to, the fact that the emphasis we placed on the running back position, not, in the draft, we got a guy that was, look, if it wasn't for him opting out, probably goes a lot higher than the 5th round. That one kind of fell into our laps. We take a chance on that guy. He's probably 3rd or 4th round pick if he plays this past season. And then, you take a look at what we did in free agency. We bring back Jordan Howard. So now you got a guy that I don't know how these guys, but I know that he's the only guy on that roster with the resume that has 1,000 yards on it. You know what I mean? It's 1,000-yard rusher on it. Good contact bounce back. Guy that can definitely pick up the blitz. He can pass pro. He's good in pass pro. Then we, keep kind of going down the line and what they did, they do tender. They put the restricted tag on Boston Scott to keep Boston Scott here. Look, they put a lot of emphasis, on the running back position, in the offseason, leading up to basically finding a guy that in many ways he's similar. He's very similar in the frame, the makeup in terms of the body composition to a guy like, Miles Sanders. And to me, there's going to be an emphasis on the running game. I just don't know that's necessarily going to be high percentage runs as much as it is just quick, easy progressions, matchup things. Mike, I've been crying and screaming to get 2 running back, get 2, 20, 21, 22-man personnel on the field. And a lot of guys look at that and the old school saying 5 or 10 years ago is that was a coach that lacked imagination and was stuck in the 90s. In the early 2000s when you were running those back sets. But in today's game with the athleticism of the players in the running back room, let this sink in. Go look at Kansas City and Tyreek Hill. What position did he play in college?
Running back.
Like the position has changed a lot. It's not the same position anymore. And I mean, my hope is that we're going to see a progression towards 2 back sets. I'm not talking about 20% of our offense, up to 5 to 10% of our offense. But I'm excited, Mike, because I think that the running back position in general, not necessarily the running game. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the running back position in general, I think is going to take like a major step forward in importance for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, and shout out to everybody in the chat. We do have 120. What happened?
No, go ahead.
We do have 120 people watching. We are live on 3 different channels, and I know a lot of people are sub everybody or all of us, or if you're not, go ahead and get that done. But again, wherever you're watching it, make sure you hit that like button. It goes a long way, pushes it out here, pushes out the content for us, and we greatly appreciate it. Plus, it's easy, it's free, it don't cost a thing. But yes, we got $120 in the chat on a Saturday evening when you look at the 3 channels. Now, I just want to piggyback off Gate what he said a little bit and just say, I'm super excited about the run game and how it's going to be used. And I do need Nick Sirianni to utilize Hurts. But Jalen made a good point. The thing that could deter us from running the ball is
go ahead.
Is being down, 5 minutes into the game and you're down 14-0 because as Fresh would say and Jalen said, bombs over Baghdad, 2 big touchdowns, and it's 14-0. And now Nick Sirianni hits that panic button from the second quarter and beyond, and that takes us out of our element. So, we're gonna have to run
and real fast. That's why we need to talk. We need to talk because people have, they got their different opinions on the situation. But to me, I'm looking at 3 guys. We already know Steven Nelson. You know what I mean? I say Richard Sherman. Everybody say, oh, well, he's old, he's this and he that. If Richard Sherman steps on the Philadelphia Eagles field, he is better than anybody that we have at CB2. That's just facts. Love Avonte Maddox, but you're just too small for the job. You can't have a 5'9" guy on there playing outside. And I've been saying it. I said this last year. I don't know if y'all remember. I love Avonte Maddox's heart. I love what he brings to the table, but he's not an outside guy. And what happened? Bombs over Baghdad. Barbecue chicken. And it's not his fault because he beat right there. It's not like he don't have a footwork. It's not like he don't have a technique. He's just not tall. He's not tall enough to ball. And that's facts. So when you look at a Richard Sherman, who is 6 feet, and then shout out to Jalen again. You know what I mean? And then a guy that he brought to to the table was what's his name? A Graylin Conley or something like that. You know what I mean? When you look at these kind of guys, first of all, get rid of Zach Ertz. Let's stop freaking playing. I'm tired of hearing all the rumors. I'm tired of hearing build. Get the freaking get it done. Just get it done. He don't want to be here. He has not shown up to the NovaCare Center since last year. Okay? Get the freaking job done.
It's rough.
Go. So what you want to say? Gates or Mike, please inform me. We'll be saving $7.5 million or something like that if we trade him. It's 7.5 or 8 million, something like that, right?
8 million or so, yeah, 8 million or so.
So you don't think you can take half of that and go get you a good corner? Steven Nelson is still out there. Everybody keeps saying, well, not everybody, but most people saying, oh, well, Steven Nelson, where did he come from? He's this and he's that. He's better than anybody that we got.
Yes,
I don't have a CB2. If we don't get one of these guys at CB2, we are in trouble. And Jaquette, that's really the only guy. You can't put Crevion LeBlanc there. You can't put Avonte Maddox there. You cannot put none of these guys there. You have to get a CB2. If we don't, we are in trouble. Because let's keep it real, y'all. Let's keep it funky like jump socks. So we've got to face Dallas, right? Amari Cooper, a Gallup. They're 2 guys that need 2 guys to be able to stick them. Pause. But they're 2 guys that you have to have significant guys there. Now, Richard Sherman is significant enough to take on the number 2 corner.
Oh yeah.
Then you look at the Giants. They got Galladay and Sterling, right? That's good. And then you look at Washington. They got
Scary Terry and Curtis Samuels.
Exactly, and this is what I'm saying. Just even in your division, you need a CB2, or you're not winning jack. So all these people that want to say Richard Sherman old, Richard Sherman this, and Richard Sherman that. First of all, half the damn Eagles always injured. So whatever.
He fit right in.
That's what I'm saying. But you got to look at the big picture of it. You have a veteran guy who is 6 feet. 6 feet. I think he's like 6'2". But if you can get the guy that I just named, Conley, 6 foot 190, I think he's vulnerable. And it's going to be a different scheme. The CB2 is probably going to get help. They're not going to have a back to the ball all the time. You're going to see Darius Slay get more interceptions because his back's not going to be to the ball all the freaking time chasing wide receivers. It's going to be schemes. It's going to be, and Gate City, I know you done brought this up. Mike, I know you done brought this up. Cover 7, I don't believe in it, but it's basically a cover 3 over 1. That's what we called it in high school. Basically, you got 4 safeties out there. You know what I mean? And everybody can tackle. And we have the safeties. When you look at Avonte Maddox, if he's not going to play the nickel, excuse me. Mm-hmm. And then you look at we already know McLeod. We already know what's his name, man? Kayvon Wallace. You know what I mean? If you got them guys out there, everybody can cover. You know what I mean? And I think we're going to see different things. I think we're going to see even a 1 linebacker set. Stuff I like to me, if you're facing an Arsenal, like let's keep it real. When we play Tampa Bay, you don't need that many linebackers out there. You know what I mean? I know they do got Jones and they're going to run the ball. But if you got guys that can tackle, you only need 1 or 2 linebackers. You know what I mean? Go ahead, John.
But real quick, shout out
I just want y'all thoughts on CB2. Who y'all would pick? My bad.
And I got a question for Gate, and he did a video on this guy, and I want to get his take on him. He's been the lost commander in the Eagles secondary. I think people forgot that we have him, but Lawrence James joined either Yodat Nation or the General. Shout out to you.
Oh damn, I ain't even appreciate you, man. You already know Yodat, man. Listen, everybody, real fast, Mike. Everybody, if you join the membership, my email is freshfit215@gmail. You email me your address and I will send you the keychains, man. Seriously, man.
Put it in the.
Thank you,
OJ. You can pin it on the top of your chat if you want. Okay. So they can just get it. But real quick, so. Maybe I'm saying his name. I'm just gonna call him Shaquille Taylor, the guy we picked up. That was the one thing. So the season ended, right? The season ended, and as soon as the season ended, the Eagles picked up Shaquille Taylor, cornerback from the Colts. He's a bigger guy. I'm not saying he's great. You know, maybe he's along the line of a Jermichael Quett, maybe a little better or a little worse. I haven't watched tape, but I do got to watch tape a little bit because he's coming on the channel on Wednesday. I got Shaquille Taylor coming on the channel. It'll probably be a live stream. He's okay with the live stream, so it'll probably be around 7 o'clock. But I do remember I might have to cheat and just watch Gate's video before I interview him. But Gate, people don't talk about him. They talk about Jaquette, Maddox, Zach McPherson. What do you got? What do you take from his game and his possibility if the Eagles don't go get a veteran corner, which I prefer them, the Steven Nelsons, the Richard Shermans, somebody out there to help. If we don't go there, can Shaquille Taylor make the team?
I mean, Mike, I'm gonna be real with you. At this point, it's hard to rule anybody out from making the team, just because it's not like there's, you know what I mean? There's only a couple of like really guys that probably are solidified in their standing, right? I mean, you know, Darius Slay is probably likely not going anywhere. Let's be honest, at least not this season. You know, Avonte Maddox has a very easy path to the roster. Doesn't mean that he won't get beat up because they did put. Hey, people can say what they want to about him. He's probably our second best corner right now, but at the same time, I got to believe this coaching staff is a little suspicious of him because they went out there and got a lot of guys that can play inside at the nickel. Let's just be honest, including our draft pick, who can play inside. He doesn't want to. He wants to play outside, but a lot of analysts had him inside as a nickel. That's just the truth. I look at Shaquille Taylor, Mike, and he's got as good a shot as anybody to be on the back end of the roster. This is a guy that did play in Indianapolis for a couple of seasons. I think it was a season or two. He actually started games there, I believe. He actually got reps and was in game. Then he kind of got bounced around. I think he ended up on the Giants eventually, Mike, and basically got bounced around practice squads. I think he was an injury issue. Adequate size. He's right around 5'11", 6 footish. Decent foot speed. I think his pro day, have him tell you, man, I could be wrong. You know, pro days are a little funny, but I think his pro day number was a 4.4 240. He doesn't, he's not like, he's not like one of these Darius Slay types that's, or what's the other guy? The one I made a video about, Michael Jacquet, who's got, 33-inch freaking reach. He's more about 30, a little over 31 inch in his reach. I mean, he's got adequate size for a corner. I don't know where his recognition is yet, Mike, and you might want to ask him, ask him some questions about what he feels about playing. We don't know. I mean, we're speculating cover 7, but we're trying to read the tea leaves from what's said in press conferences, and some of the things that Gannon said would lead you to maybe suspect that the Eagles might be a little cover 7 heavy. Now, look, we'll still be probably cover 3 base. We'll still see some 2 safety split stuff. You'll see cover 2 and quarters. I definitely think you're going to see a lot of quarters, to be quite honest. But I would ask him, hey, have you ever played cover 7? Or he's played cover 7, but I'd ask him, how much cover 7 have you played?
How comfortable are you in it?
Yeah, tell him, hey, man, walk me through it. If you're playing outside, what's your responsibility in something like the cover 7? And it's going to vary by the technique they're running. But, as Fresh was saying, the thing about cover 7 is that it's a lot of processing. It requires a lot of thought. That's the thing. You have to have a very high level understanding of coverage.
Everybody got to be on the same page.
Yeah. If one person misses the assignment, somebody's wide open.
If you do a Malcolm Jenkins, you're burnt.
Yeah.
but real fast, y'all ain't answering my question. So at CB2, who is your answer right now? What would you try to do? Would you try Richard? You know what I mean?
This is what I would do. I mean, if you're looking for a quick Band-Aid, Richard Sherman. I know I'm thinking he wants to go to a contender, but if you're looking for a guy who can cover you for 1 year because we're broke, you know what I mean? But also audition for the long term.
But if you get rid of Zach Ertz, you got that little.
Correct. Yeah. You could play with it. I think Steven Nelson would be the perfect decision because, again, I never said that he's a shutdown corner, but when you look at Steven Nelson and then you look at everybody else on the Eagles, you're like, oh, yeah, Steven Nelson looked real good. You know what I mean? That's where it's coming down to. And if it's a difference of the Eagles offered him $3 million and he wants $5 million, you get rid of Zach, you can do it. And what he will do is audition in that year because he's only 28. So we all know what our cap's going to look like next year. So if he comes in and plays the second best receiver on 17 teams and he's able to do a decent job, well, now the Eagles got money and they can pay the 28-year-old going on 29 for a 2-3 year deal. Now with Richard Sherman, it's legitly only a 1 year Band-Aid, and now you got to fix the same problem next year. You understand what I'm saying? So Nelson would be the best fit. But real quick, shout out to Victory. He gave him a super chat. It's been reported that the Eagles have been close to re-signing Dallas Goedert. What are your thoughts on that? And by the way, don't forget to smash the like button wherever you're watching and check out that fire Yodat merch.
Appreciate you, Vic. I definitely do, man. Dallas got to show me more. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, man. Shout out to you, LJ. I see you in here, super Yodating it up, man. We appreciate you, seriously.
Big fan.
He got to show me more because when he has been the number one and he is the guy. Hold on, y'all.
Hey, shout out to Philly the podcast, another channel member, another great YouTuber. Eagles content. He does like the Nets, though. I don't know why. I don't like him for that, but I like him when he's talking Eagles. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But shout out to Philly
yeah.
Philly the podcast. Yeah. So Taylor followed him as well. You know what I mean? Listen, this is the thing. You know, when I get these little interviews or I can talk to these guys, you know, I'm always rooting for him. So you know what I mean. At the end of the day, if he gets to find a spot on the 53-man roster and contribute, I'm gonna love it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's why I'm. Let's go, Taylor and my guy, Bradley, Sean Bradley. But go ahead, Fresh.
Yeah, what I was saying before I was really interrupted, somebody just started cutting grass. First of all, it just got finished raining. Why the hell did you cutting grass? But anyway, Goddard has not, like, if you really look at the numbers and you look at what's going on, when he has been a number one, he hasn't, and a lot of that might be scheme, because we already know, I think the scheme freaking stunk the last 2 years. So a lot of that might be scheme, but he has not been a guy to where as though you can say, that's my guy at tight end number one. I think with him and Dick Rogers, though, I think them two is a nice. It's a nice it's a nice little 1-2. I don't know what we did with the guy. What's his name? Is his name Butler or Hunter? One of them guys that was a wide receiver, but I think that he is really a tight end.
Yeah, I think.
And I don't want to hear that J.J. Arthur-Whiteside should be moved to tight end. It's not going to happen. It shouldn't happen. You know what I mean? Can he be using the red zone? Yeah, but he's probably a dunion. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's just going to be a bust, whatever. But Dallas Goedert needs to prove something, and not only just because I'm saying it, because it's contract year for you, brother.
It is.
It's time for you to get paid. So you need to ball out. And I know he has the talent. I'm not going to sit here and act like he doesn't have the talent. When I grab somebody up about them not reaching their peak or not peak, but not reaching what I know that they can do, it's because I know that they got the talent. If you just like a Matt Hollins or whatever the case may be, then all right, whatever, dude, get out of here. But if you somebody that I know got the talent, like Dallas Goedert can be not a Kelsey type, but like a Grunt type. And we seen it. We seen in a Dallas game. I don't know how the hell he got called for pass interference when his helmet got ripped off that game. I don't know if y'all remember, about 2 years ago. Helmet got ripped off. He ran for a touchdown. They called it back. We seen things like that, and we say, damn, that's flashes. But we need consistency from Dallas Goedert. You know what I mean? And I think that he can, but he got to prove it this year. Go ahead, Joe.
Nah, I agree. Real quick, Lawrence James, though. LJ, shout out to the 2 super chats you gave my guy. Greatly appreciated. And it was funny. 3-Card Marty said, I'm 6 foot, 186. I'm laying pavers in the pace. In this pace heat wave, I'm ready to play CB2 for us. You know what I mean?
I know
Sign my guy.
That's right.
Sign my guy.
And you might come in and be better than what we got right now. That's the crazy part, man. No disrespect to the guy that you about to put on a live, man. No disrespect.
I know, right? So Liz, and I mean, hopefully, yeah. Shout out to Shaquem Taylor, but you know, this team, when you just look at it again, we started this live stream talking about the list. We got a couple of them in there, but just the general disrespect of just not being a good team solely off, you know, other teams get the satisfaction of their coaching wasn't just that good. They were injured. This and that happened. It's like the Eagles don't. It's like I think these reporters and analytic guys are just coming out here thinking that Doug Peterson's coming back. Oh, by the way, Carson Wentz is here still. Oh, by the way, we still got a 14 different combination at the offensive line. And it's like you look at if you go through the names on the roster, we have some veterans in here. We have some Pro Bowlers. We have some guys that can make things happen. And so I'm not here trying to advocate we are a top 10 team because there is unknowns. We have again, quarterback coach combination is the ultimate unknown. But how do teams win in the NFL? D-line, O-line. And you cannot tell me that our D-line and O-line is not top 10 O-line and top 7 or 5 D-line in the NFL when healthy. And right now, we are healthy. And that's how you win games. And that's how you elevate young wide receivers. That's how you help a young quarterback. And that's how you really help a struggling secondary. And we got the tools to help these guys. But we're 29th. So we're better than 3 different teams.
You know what's interesting to me about the defensive line is how are they going to do? Are they going to do like Jim Schwartz did with the rotation? Because if they do, to me, we already know what Fletcher Cox brings to the table. Do I think he needs to do more? I think that he's been injured, so that probably hindered him. I think Hargrave is going to have a better year. I think they're going to put him in the A gap instead of being in the B gap. And I think it might sound crazy, but just switching over to one side of the line could change how a player has been comfortable playing his whole career. If y'all get what I'm saying, I don't know if y'all understand what I'm saying. Being in the A gap and being in the B gap are 2 different things, and it's as close as they are, it's still 2 different things. But to me, this 3rd round draft pick is the deciding factor of us being top 5 or top 3. If this dude is a rotational player and can come in and you don't miss a beat, the league, the NFC East in trouble. I ain't gonna say the league. The NFC East in trouble. No, I'm dead serious.
Nah, I hear you.
We already know. I think Sweat takes a leap. I think Derek Barnett has no choice but to take a leap. You want to get paid? You better play. You better play like your heart depends on it. You know what I mean? I don't think Graham falls off. I think he stays kind of where he's at. And I think this is his last year as a Philadelphia Eagle or probably in the NFL period. But I think he goes out with a bang and has a good year. And I'm not going to say he goes to the Pro Bowl again, but I will say I think he will have a mirror kind of season. And he would be the leader of that defensive line because even though we know Fletcher Cox is a $100 million man, we all know who the leader of that defensive line is, who the vocal guy is, who the guy that gets everybody up every single day, who the guy that gets everybody hyped, the guy that gets and we're gonna miss him. You know what I mean? But if Milton can be that guy, the NFC East is in trouble. Goya.
Gate, I want to ask you though, because I'm talking about, great teams have a great O-line and a D-line. That's the staple of starting your offense and defense. Where do you got us ranked? I'm talking about totally healthy. The addition of Kerrigan, maybe a leap of Sweat. I think just the fact that Fletcher's going to be not nicked up as he was last year. Go ahead and start with the D-line and O-line. I know you don't like to do this stuff, but where would you have us? Give me your area on both sides.
I mean, I think there's 2 concerns here. You have the immediate versus the long term. In the immediate future, for this season, I think there's talent along the defensive line. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, our biggest question is going to be, can Barnett be worth the 5th-year option? And what do we do if he is? Because if he does show out, then you got to do the complexity of figuring out, do you let a young pass rusher walk? Do you sign the guy because you're going to overpay for him at this point, no matter what you do? It's a difficult situation with the Barnett situation.
Anyway, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult situation. I think Jalen, him and I were talking back and forth, and I think he had the point of what might be really interesting is to look at the guys who went into a 5th-year option or just a contract year in general, had a big season, look at their contracts and look at the production the following 2 years. I think Jalen was saying something like that. I mean, I don't know off the top of my head what that looks like, but of course that would be a concern is if a guy goes off in a contract year, who knows if he's going to give you that same effort every single offseason. You know what I mean? It's hard to say. But I will say that I'm concerned because you got Fletcher Cox, who's now over 30. Massive contract that we're trying to figure our way out of right now. I mean, we keep reworking his contract to get other guys under contract, which keeps pushing that deal down the line. Eventually, it all comes due. Eventually,
but you know what's crazy with Barnett? Gates, I ain't in control. My bad.
Go ahead, man.
I just wanted to say this. I'm going to get out your way.
Okay.
Barnett is only like 25. Like people forgot that he played for us when he was 20.
Yeah,
he played for us when he was 20 years old. Like Vic, I see what you just comment. You my guy, but you're wrong. I don't think that he's a bust. I just think that he was young and wasn't being utilized right. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say wasn't being taught right, but I don't think he was being used right. And then some injuries happened and yada yada yada. But in 2017, we had no complaints about Burnett. Let's keep it a bean. We ain't had no complaints about him. So for the fact of a guy being drafted and playing for the Philadelphia Eagles and winning the Super Bowl and
Philly 500 did.
Huh?
When I very first found out 500 and I was new to this YouTube game, I went back and watched his first videos and he hated the Barnett pick. I forgot why, but it's funny though.
Somebody else. I know you. I can't remember who he wanted, but he wanted somebody else.
Yeah, I forgot too. But
yeah, I mean, when you look at the guys that went after him, I mean, you could debate. I mean, you can debate. You can do more than debate. I ain't got no problem with that. But the fact that the guy was only 20 years old and won a Super Bowl at 21, it was like when he got drafted, he was 20. Yeah. That doesn't happen. And you know, it was so much hype around him with beating Reggie Record and all that kind of stuff. So he was put up there in Tennessee. You know what I mean? And I get why the pick. I understand it. It actually looked good at the moment. But I'm not gonna just lose. I'm not just gonna lose faith on the dude now. You know what I mean? I'm gonna see what he got this year. If he don't show me nothing this year, yeah, I'm not signing him back. So that's why I said this is the defining factor. Go ahead, Gates, my bad.
No, you're good. I mean, look, I look at Fletcher Cox and I'm excited to see what this guy does in this system. This is going to be different with Rocker at defensive line coach. I think Rocker is going to have input into the things they do with the line. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of impact Fletcher Cox can have, because if you look at his contract, he's got an out in his contract next year. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're going to eat dead money if you cut him. You're going to eat about $13 million in dead money if you cut him next year, pre-June 1st. But you're going to save 10.6 against the cap. That's a clear out in the contract. So now you got Derek Barnett on a 5th-year option. You got Fletcher Cox now has an out in his contract. Kerrigan's a good football player, but he's only on a 1-year deal. By the way, Josh Sweat is coming due, and he's on the last year of his contract because he wasn't a first-round pick, so he was only on a 4-year deal. So this is his last season. You know, Brandon Graham is clearly on his last season. I mean, maybe the Eagles work something out again, but I doubt it. He's 33. I can't see that happening at this point. I mean, when you really look at the long-term, you know what I'm saying, projection of the defensive line, it is concerning.
Not just the defensive line. And I don't want to go on my rant right now because I know that you're talking.
Go ahead, man. Go.
Hey, Gate. Give me where you rank real quick.
Go ahead, because I'm about this. Go ahead.
Until I see it on tape, Mike, this is what I hate about preseason projection rankings, right?
Yeah, it's
I'm
hard.
going to put them middle of the pack. I'm going to say top 16, certainly.
O-line?
Yeah, D-line. I'm going to say D-line, top 16, definitely. Because I don't know where Derek Barnett is. Josh Sweat still has a degenerative knee issue. I like Kerrigan, but Kerrigan has been kind of dwindling over the last few years. There's a lot of potential, right? I don't know what Fletcher Cox is going to look like in an under front to where he could get a one-on-one matchup and destroy somebody, right? I don't know. You know, some of these things are unknowns. That's why I hate doing preseason rankings. I would just I look at it this way. I can see this going badly. I can see this going like really, really well, and this being a top 5 defensive line. It comes down to a few guys like Hargrave. Man, the talent's there with Hargrave. But when Fletch left the game late in the season, I didn't see it from Hargrave. He's got to prove it. Hargrave's got to prove that he could be a one gap defensive tackle to me. He can definitely play 2-gap. I saw what he did in Pittsburgh. He was good as a 2-gap D lineman. He's got to prove he can be a 1-gap lineman to me.
So you call 1-2, I call AB.
A and B, yeah.
Yeah,
You're playing the gap, the physical gaps, yeah.
Yeah, but it's so different. Go ahead, my bad.
But no, I was going to let you go ahead and go into what you said that you were going to go into the rant. But yeah, then you have the guys behind them. You have Hassan Ridgeway and all those guys behind them.
Yeah, real quick before you go on your rant, make sure you guys hit that like button. We got like 142 people in here. We are live on 3 channels. Hit the like button, greatly appreciated. And yeah, I think the immediate future is good. The long-term future is questionable. I still got us a little bit higher in 16, only because I think we were pretty good last year, especially in hurries and sacks. Maybe not against the run, but go ahead, Fresh. Kill it. Kill him with kindness.
All right, before I go on to my rant real fast, Victory, my guy, the reason that they didn't take TJ Watt is because we had Jordan Hicks. And Jordan Hicks had so much upside before he got hurt. Let's keep it a million. Like in 2016, he was balling. So that's why they didn't take TJ Watt and they went with defensive end. You know what I mean? But I get what you're saying. Now it looks bad, but we did have Jordan Hicks then. You know what I mean? All right, so Gates, you made some very, very good points. And what I'm pointing out right now is the money factor. The fact of the matter is how we keep pushing things back and back and back. And everybody, I ain't gonna say I don't remember exactly how many people made videos chanting on how we yada yada yada. But I do know I text everybody and said, yo, you're wrong. I text Philly 500. I text LB. I text everybody and say, yo, you're wrong about this because of the fact of you're moving money back. You're not getting rid of money. It's not like he's getting rid of it. He's moving it back. And in 2 years, Miles Sanders is going to have to get paid. Dallas Goedert is going to have to get paid. Jalen Hurts is going to have to get paid. Yes, because he wasn't a first-round talent. I mean, not talent. He wasn't a first-round pick. He was a second-round pick. So this is the second year. You're going to have to pay your quarterback probably next year if that's your guy. Because nobody except for the Dallas Cowboys pays them on a final year of franchise tag or whatever the case may be. So Miles Sanders, Dallas Goedert, Jalen Hurts, Josh Sweat that you brought up, Derek Barnett, if he balls out. I mean, the list goes on. And you talking about paying all these guys, and you still got to pay the older guys that you push back their contract? And a lot of them contracts, it be guaranteed money. So if you get rid of them, you still got to pay it. And this is why we ran it before he made all these reconstructions, right? Mm-hmm. We was ranting. We were saying, how will you put us in this predicament? And then we come out 3 weeks later and say, oh, well, yay, you reconstruct. No.
This was the year to do it if there was ever a year, though.
Why you say that, Mike?
Because this is the year that we went, instead of increasing the cap 10, 15 million, we went 15 million behind. So I'm saying I don't agree with. I'm
talking about the future. Are we ready to win? Are we ready to win right now, Mike?
No.
Exactly. So it don't matter.
We got to field a team.
You have to field the team, but you can also get rid of players. Like to me, I'm not gonna lie to you. The reconstruction is only going to hurt us in the long run because he did the same thing in 2017. He reconstructed, and that's why we in the hole now.
Yeah, but you gotta look at each reconstruction and see, because some of it is not pushing it down. Some of it is turning into guarantee money, which comes off the books of the cap hit, but the Eagles still pay it today, but we're not paying it in cap. It's little things like that too. So most of it is kick the can down the lane, but you could do things where a couple million is not down the lane. It's just like now it's not going to kind of get the cap because we're putting it into a signing bonus, this, that, and the third. So just because you get reconstructed don't mean all that is going down. Each one has its own different story.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, everybody got their own different story, man. Like, that's cool. Mother Goose, cool. All right. So my thing is, everybody had their own story 2 years ago, right? And we still find ourselves in cap hell. Now, here's what I can say. And this is why I think Howie ain't going nowhere. Because people asked me when I went live the other day, is Howie out of here? No, because in the next 2 years, the cap is going to go up.
Majorly.
I don't think major.
By 3 years when that new TV, by 3 years, not 2, that new TV deal is going to hit.
Yeah, but most of our
2
contracts are back 2 years. It's not, or one or 2 years. And then we got to pay so many people. You know what I mean? Like, when you look at it, man, and the major, this is really why I'm frustrated about it. Because you're going to have to pay, if Jalen Hurts is the guy, your quarterback in 1 or 2 years. You're going to have to pay your quarterback. And then you're going to find yourself in cap hell again.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm saying. And maybe we'll be contenders then. And maybe we won't even be able to bring a free agent because we can't freaking pay nobody.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you find yourself in trouble. You should have, if you want to what they went with was, we're not going to rebuild, we're going to retool. But by doing that, it might have got you in trouble. Because instead of saying, you know what, let's get rid of either Lane Johnson or Brandon Brooks, get that 10 or 12 million off the contract. Instead of you saying, let's try to trade Fletcher Cox and get that 20 million off the contract because we got Hargrave. Instead of saying, you know what, let's get rid of Zach Ertz, which they still haven't done. Instead of you doing all of that, I just named four people, and that's like 35 to almost 40 million right there. Right there.
Some of it's going to be dead, though.
What make you say that, Mike? Why you think that's going to be dead cap money? I don't understand that.
Everybody that you name will have a dead hit with us, and we already took the biggest dead hit cap, the biggest dead cap hit in NFL history with Carson Wentz. This, what I'm saying is, I don't agree with it, but if there was ever a year to do it, to keep yourself afloat, and again, you got to understand this, though. Rebuilding teams, like super rebuilding teams, don't attract no free agents, so you still want to stay relevant while trying to rebuild. That's how you eventually get back to the high praise, get back to the money on the positive side while being able to bring people in here. Why do you think
it only works if you win? And
we have a better chance to win if we have Fletch on the team, and if we don't have Fletch. I agree. There's always a time where you got to part ways with people. If we come out and in the first 8 games we win 2, and a Super Bowl team who can't stop the run once Fletch, gots to go because we won 2 games. But the Eagles are a franchise that is pretty good, that when we get a new coach within the next 2 years, we're competing for something. And I'm not saying this is the case or not the case, but we can't sell our franchise short. We've been a winning franchise in the last 20 to 25 years. And
nobody has won more playoff games than us in this millennium.
And so
yeah, go ahead.
I think the way the cap is going to go up, I think we're going to be all right. But Gate, how do you feel about the reconstruction in itself? Because I don't like it either. But do you think if there was ever a time this was the year that you got to just do something? You got to field 53 people out there that are not 53. Who are they? You know what I mean?
So I talked about this, Mike. You remember I made a prediction that the Eagles will go over $50 million in dead money hit this season. And right now, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm just short of my estimate currently. Currently, the Eagles have the highest dead money in the league at $48,982,035. All right. Detroit would be number 2 at $42,633,331. I'll be right if something happens with Zach Ertz this year. We'll go over 50 million, which is a big, big number. A lot of people thought I was straight tripping when I said that, but I understood the math behind the contracts. And I knew that when you really looked at what we had to do to get to the positive side of the cap, I knew that it was going to be a lot of dead money we were going to have to shed. And there's just no choice but to shed that dead money. Looking at this, though, Mike, it's part of the business. If you play, I think is it Mickey Loomis who started this crap? The Saints GM, I think, that started this weird backloaded contract stuff. Okay, everyone has different philosophies in the way they do it. I can't remember the GM that's out there in Green Bay, but the GM in Green Bay has a completely different philosophy to how he does his contracts. Right, he does not do a lot of backloaded contracts. He does not do a lot of weird cap tricks with dead money and things like that to get guys under contract. He's more of a let's just pay the bill He's a bounds budget guy. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to get political. He's a bounds budget guy, right? I got X amount of dollars. I want X amount of dollars. I don't exceed it by weird cap tricks to get there, right? It is what it is, man. Like, we're stuck with these numbers, man. These numbers are they're stuck with us. Like, it's part of the reason that we are struggling is that, and I think Fresh was kind of alluding to this. We have struggled to identify when it's time to give up on guys. That was the biggest thing. And I'm not casting stones because, to be truthful, you guys were right here with me. I was not happy about Malcolm Jenkins in that situation. That had nothing to do with dead money, but I wasn't happy about that situation. It's tough to let go of certain guys. It really is. It's really tough to let go of certain guys. But in hindsight, with the benefit of knowing what we know now, we made mistakes.
Correct.
Because here's the thing real fast, Mike, and I'm gonna get out your way. The reason that we were really upset, let's keep it real, Gates. I'm not going to speak on your feelings, but if I can, let me ask y'all this: the reason that we really was pissed is because you got rid of Michael Jenkins, but then you brought back Jason Kelsey for $10 million. That's why we was pissed.
They were both important, and they were both important to the team. One guy's making all your line adjustments, and he's doing everything on the offensive line that covers blitzes, covers everything like that, makes all your line adjustments. The other guy's out there basically controlling the entire secondary.
But one guy can play, the other one can't.
I hear you. I hear you, Fresh. They both were tailing off, to be honest. They both were tailing off.
But Malcolm Jenkins wasn't tailing off like Peter.
Not like people are saying. I agree. He wasn't tailing off as badly as people were saying. They just didn't realize how bad the secondary was and how much he was covering up for other people. But it didn't go beautifully in New Orleans this year, though, either, to be fair.
No, it didn't. He had his moments, but he also shined at some moments, and it kind of...
He's going to be on there for 3 years, too, because he didn't want to take a 1-year deal. That was part of the problem, too. He wanted a 3-year deal, which...
this is probably his last year. He done it.
Yeah, but here's what I would say. I think
he wasn't missing any games. That was the crazy thing to me. Like, normally when you get a guy that's aging, you're looking at...
Gates. Not missing games. He don't miss snaps.
Exactly.
Snaps.
It was like, 2 or 3 years.
And that's the difference between him and Jason Peters, who want to check himself out of games and want to sit on the sideline and get hugs and freaking balloons and massages and all that bull crap. Malcolm Jenkins was in the trenches. That was the difference.
Here what I want to say. We have to be better at saying who's going to have the good ending of their career and who's going to fall off a cliff. That is true, but that doesn't also that it just goes to show that is the more important thing than the kicking the can down the lane, because guess what? If you kick the can down the lane on a guy who's going to give it to you every year on the contract, then it's good. When you backload a contract, here's the thing. You sign somebody for 3 years, right? First year, you think he's going to be at his top thing. Second, here's the thing. If he's okay the first year and then he tails off big on the second year, that means you're paying him probably the most money on the year 3 where he's the worst performance-wise. So you have to find guys that you know who are going to age well. You think that position, there got to be analytics in it. There's positions that age well better than others. Running back is not an age well. Offensive line, decently. Tight end, you can age well. Look at the Gonzaleses, the Gates, the Gronk still winning Super Bowls. You can age well at certain positions, and that's where you got to figure it out. You're not going to pay a old linebacker. You're not going to pay an old running back. You're probably not going to pay an old cornerback. Receiver, it depends on what style of receiver you are, and so all of that comes into play. We did wrong in the guessing game that we failed at. But a guy like Fletcher Cox is this. Again, his sacks tailed off so much, and that's why he can't be compared to Aaron Donald. But they're still, to me, I can't name off the top of my head a better run defender than Fletcher Cox. And when he goes out the game, you feel it. The dude is an animal, and he does get double team every time. So, but still, Aaron Donald gets doubled, he beats him. Here's the difference, though: their defensive coordinator moves Aaron Donald around, even though he's a D tackle. We don't do that with Fletch. Not saying he can, he can't. I don't know, but his run defense alone is still amazing. And what I'm trying to say is, and shout out to Jalen, and I said this in my lives before: if the Eagles are complete garbage next year, I mean, anybody. This is what you do. You go to the Eagles roster and you filter two things out. The first thing you filter is money. The second thing you filter is age. And if the money and the age don't look right, and we only won 1 or 2 games in the first half of the season, you're out of there, no matter how much we love you, because it's going to be a long time before we rebuild. Now, Jalen was one of the guys say we're not going to be good until for 5 years. I mean, 4 or 5 years. I remember him saying that. I'm on the other hand as I don't remember the Eagles being the Oakland Raiders back in the day, the Cleveland Browns, the New York Giants, the Miami Dolphins, where once we rebuilded, it was half a decade before we can even sniff the playoffs. We missed the playoffs for 1-2 years, and we're back competing. That's what the Eagles sold the city of Philadelphia, and that's why, I love them. I'm 30 years old. I started watching football right around 7, 8. I might have watched it when I was 5, 6, but I don't recall actually enjoying it like 7 and 8. And since 99, 98, ain't nobody could tell me nothing. We a couple epic failures, you know what I mean? But I seen a lot, and I love what they do. But yes, kicking the can down the line is a risk, but you gotta kick it down on the right people. But my whole thing defending Howie on that note only. That note was this was the year you had to do it to keep us competitive, to bring in guys like Harris, some backup quarterbacks, a running back, a linebacker. To do that, I think it was needed to keep us competitive in a bad division where winning brings more people. Winning makes the fans stay there, so they're spending money. And I don't think Jeffrey Lurie cares about spending money. The only thing that matters is the cap dollars are the cap dollars. But that's why I think Howie's also good at finding the in-between lines to keep that money paid in the present, but not be on the books. You can do it. Find ways.
Well, there's some things in that, Mike, and let's just call a spade a spade. Jalen Hurts solidifying the quarterback position would go a long way and turning this roster around with youth.
Facts.
That's the thing, because everyone keeps talking about 3 first-round picks. If it doesn't work out, we can go get an Aaron Rodgers. We can go get this guy and insert a name. But then what happens with you're paying those guys, a Deshaun Watson and Aaron Rodgers, they're not going to just want chump change, by the way. You got to take that into impact in terms of your what's going to happen to your cap. And then on top of that, you have a host of free agents on the defensive line. I mean, still, we might have questions in the secondary. We will have questions in the secondary. Like, to me, Jalen Hurts locking down the quarterback position this year and showing that, you know what, we don't need to be in the hunt for quarterback in the 2022 season, 2022 offseason. I think that does so much for the overall health of the roster, because what that would do is it actually allows us to focus on things like defensive line, outside corner talent, plugging in a piece or two even on the offensive line, because I still think people don't realize some of the situation going on with the offensive line too, to where, there's some concerns there as well. I mean, I like Driscoll. I like a few of those guys. Herbig's been a nice story. Undrafted rookie free agent who's proved to be decent. I mean, my guy's still a good 50, 60 pounds. I mean, I know they say he lost weight, so I guess I got to wait to see what this man looks like in camp. But, I mean, my guy out there, I mean, the dude looked like he was playing center and left guard at times, center and right guard at times. Like, just be real. There's so many question marks that need to be filled on this team with an injection of youth that, man, Jalen Hurts locking down that position, it does so much for the long-term trajectory of the roster. It just does.
Yeah, I want to touch on a piggyback off what you said. Yeah, for the simple fact that these first 3-round picks, I said these 3 first-round picks, I got it backwards. You want to use that in bringing in talented, youthful players that for the next 5 years is on a rookie contract, getting paid penny to the dollars, probably producing at a first round talent. And that is the biggest thing. Kicking the can down the lane was one thing, but our drafting poorly has been the bigger issue, because when you draft poorly, how do you keep your team good? You sign free agents, and every free agent is going to be overpaid because you got 31 other teams trying to get his services. So the kicking the can down is one thing, but the drafting is the biggest thing. If we spend 3 first-round picks on the future piece of our offensive line, a future secondary piece, and a future something piece, because Jalen Hurts is good, well, now you gave Jalen Hurts more. If you spend that getting a quarterback, well, you're paying that quarterback, and you still got the same old players on the team. And real quick before Fresh shows that, shout out to Eminem. Here's the biggest thing. The Eagles are trying to stay in contention, and I agree, but as Jalen said and as you said, these old players, we have to find replacements for the Fletches, the Brooks, the Lanes, the Darius Slays, because in 3 years they won't be there. And how do you do that? By not signing free agents, by drafting well.
Yeah. And my problem is, and I want to get you on this one, Fresh. I want to know what you feel about these young defensive linemen. But they're so late round picks, I don't want to overhype them. Marlon Tulipulotu, is that how you say his name? The dude from USC. And I know it's against the pack. Anytime you're talking about the pack, you got to be a little when it comes to line play. But man, that dude from the nose and what he did hand fighting and how foolish he made guys look tells me that, look, he might be decent in the league as a nose, playing that zero tech, that one shade. And then Teron Jackson. Look, small school. Slow initial pass rush move. He's not a great off the line of scrimmage guy, but that second pass rush was just absolutely devastating in college. BYU was a great offensive line, and he gave them fits. I have so much, the young guys, but they're so, you're talking about 6-round talents. I don't know, man. Where are you at, Fresh, with these young guys?
I think offensively, we're going to be fine. I think that we already know it's crazy that we've been on here for an hour and a half almost, and we have not brought up Devontae Smith since we all been together. You know what I mean? But I think that he's going. I don't care about the size. I don't care about none of that. This dude, you want to know why Justin Jefferson broke all of Randy Moss's records? It's because of his footwork, because of his placement, because of him knowing how to find the football. And that's what Devontae Smith does. Now, I'm not saying he's going to come in here and break all these records and do all that, but he's going to be very, very serviceable. You already know how I feel about Quez Watkins, man. Rhaegar, I think they should put him in the slot. Miles Sanders, you're going to have to pay him soon, but I think that he can be a serviceable guy, but you still got to find somebody else soon, because we already know, as much as I hate it because I played the position, running backs are a dime a dozen. You know what I mean? Like you cannot stable your franchise on a running back. The Giants found that out very, very fast. You know what I mean? With Saquon Barkley, even though he is a special talent, but the injuries, you just get hit too much by too many different type of people. You get hit by cornerbacks, you get hit by safeties, you get hit by linebackers, you get hit by defensive line, you get hit by everybody.
Yeah.
So, to me, I like Miles Sanders. Jalen Hurts, as much as people think that I don't like him, I do. But we got to see what he's going to do this year. The defense scares me. This is where it gets scary, because this is where the older teams are at. I mean, the older teammates are at. When you look at Brandon Graham, how many years he got left? You look at Fletcher Cox, how many years he got left? When you look at Derek Barnett, is he going to be here? You know what I mean? When you look at Darius Slay, love Darius Slay. How many years you think he got left? 2, 3? To be like a elite talent. I'm not saying he won't be in the NFL, But you don't want to run around like a Xavier Rose or anything like that. You know what I mean? Even though Xavier Rose is serviceable, Xavier Rose is not a CB1 right now. So you definitely
under Gannon, he was looking like it. It's like, no, just get it.
so to be real, you really got to find some defensive talent, man. You really do. Now, like
In
I
the
said,
draft.
I said this earlier, the Milton kid, I think that he's going to be the X factor on how good this defensive line is going to be. Because, like you said, Mike, like you said, Gates, when Fletcher Cox come out, it looks like a whole different defensive line. As much as I ground him up about him being a $100 million man, and it was him and Aaron Donald took steps up and he stayed the same or took a step down.
Yeah.
The defensive line definitely looks different. Milton, are you going to be that guy? Hargrave, are you going to be that guy? Yeah. That's getting paid also. So to me, the defense, man, we do got some young studs though, man. I like Kayvon Wallace. I like Bradley. I like Taylor. I like all three of them dudes. But sometimes right now is not enough. So you do need to draft more talent. And real fast before you go, Mike, like you said, shout out to MM. Told me the package came. It came, and I appreciate you, man. Got a little revealing, got a little surprise for y'all. You know what I mean?
We got unboxing live on camera.
My guy, man. Hey, man, listen. Get y'all screen recorders ready real fast, man. I appreciate all the members, man. Y'all get, man. The Yodats, man. The Yodat keychains, they here. They in effect. I got enough for everybody. All you got to do is subscribe to the membership, man. Seriously, man. I appreciate all of y'all, man. This is what we do, man. Shout out to my guy, MM, man. Seriously, man. Oh, he got, what's this? Oh, he put this in here. I'm keeping this for myself. I like this cover. Yeah, that's mine. Y'all ain't getting that, sorry. But
that's the throwback Eagles. That's the one. That reminded me of the game we played. I forgot. Remember we had Kevin Curtis. He went off that day.
Yeah.
So we got the Sixers. You know what I mean? And we got the Eagles, man. Shout out to MM, man. He put his work in to do these, man, and I appreciate it, man. We're gonna make it rain with
make it rain
on. Seriously, man, my guy, man. So
that's funny.
Like I said before, if you are already a member, I'm gonna put it in the thing, like my guy Mike said, and you hit my email, I'm gonna ship them joints right out to you, man. They coming expeditiously. You know what I mean? Shout out to all of y'all, man. But most importantly, shout out to MM for seriously, man. I appreciate you, man. Seriously, man. Go ahead, y'all.
So, Gate, I want to ask you this real quick. He just started talking about Devontae Smith. I know we already talked about it and all that, but like how excited and how involved do you think he can be? Again, Fresh didn't say he cared about the weight, and I don't necessarily care about it either. But when it comes to volume, that's where it might come in handy. How involved do you think he could be? Do you think he can be that guy who just gets targets and catches? Can we count on him for that?
I think it comes down to, when you look at him, anytime that he's gotten the opportunity, he's capitalized upon it. Going all the way back to his freshman year in the national championship game, catching the game-winning touchdown. Like, big moment for a freshman.
True
freshman. A huge moment there. But I will say that, some of the concerns is, I heard some people say, yeah, but, he was always a little bit of a second fiddle. But the thing is that if you go back to not just last year, but the year before, he was outproducing. And you can make arguments that Judy and those guys were drawing more coverage. I get it. But he still was outproducing them. He was outproducing them. And smooth operator. That's what I got from his film, Mike, is that the guy is just really smooth in his route running. I looked at man coverage because my first instinct was this guy did not face a lot of man. That's what my first instinct was. Is 160-some pound receiver. I was there's no way he was facing a lot of man. But the truth be told is I don't know necessarily how many reps he took in comparison to other guys against man coverage, but he was the highest graded wide receiver versus man coverage. in the entire football, NCAA football last year. So he can win. He won versus man coverage. Now, I will say this: the techniques, the schemes that they'll employ against him, they're going to be different in the NFL. So there's going to be that adaptation phase to it. But what I like about him is if you over focus on him, it's up to the other guys to eat. That's when it's up to, Jalen Reagor. Hey, man, if they're going to focus on Devontae Smith, then you need to eat with your speed and your running back abilities with the ball in your hand. Then you go look at a guy that was for 4 weeks looked like something we haven't seen in Philadelphia in forever. With Travis Fulgham, it's those guys have got to win and they've got to eat if Devontae Smith gets the attention. Then it also comes on the coaching staff. Number one is if defenses are paying attention to Devontae, what can you do to get matchups with the running backs, the tight ends, the other receivers? And then number two, what can you do for Devontae Smith to get him into a rhythm?
Yeah, move him around.
Like, yeah, I talked about it. I said there are some guys that they're two types. Like there's different ways that you can put receivers into sections. Mm-hmm. And one of the biggest sections you can have is the guy that you need to create offense for, which I love Jalen Reagor, but Jalen Reagor is very much a guy you have to create offense for. And then there are the guys that can create their own offense. And that's more of Smith's game. He can create his own offense.
There you go.
I think he's going to be pretty good. I mean, look, is he going to be 1,000-yard receiver? I don't know, man. It's hard to say. Rookie coaching staff, pretty much a rookie quarterback for, barring you want to make the argument over 3 or 4 games, guys. I mean, he's basically a rookie quarterback. Then you got young receivers. I mean, I don't know, but I definitely think that this kid is, in terms of the film I've watched of guys, he was one of the more impressive guys I've watched in quite some time. I'm just going to be honest. Like, just the way that he releases off the line of scrimmage, the way that he sinks and creates separation in his routes, just on simple things like comebacks and hitches and curls. It was a lot of timing routes that he was beating guys with. I mean, he was creating a good yard of separation or two. And that's hard to do on those type of routes.
He knows how to sell.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He knows how to make you think he's going left, but he's going right. He knows how to make you think that he's going up, but it's coming down. Like, the footwork is amazing, man. Like, and I'm not just saying that because it's a Philadelphia Eagle. I feel the same.
Alabama receivers, they be running routes.
Yeah,
look at it.
I'm not just saying that because of the Philadelphia Eagle. I think Justin Jefferson has the same footwork, but Devontae Smith has more speed, with it. You know what I mean? A little bit more charisma. And what I can say, I wouldn't put money down that he get 1,000 yards this year, but I think he's going to be our first 1,000-yard receiver since T.O. in a long time. And Reagor, you're definitely right, Gates. Being in the slot, and I'm about to say this name, but the more and more that I look at things and just not grinding people up, like y'all know how I get down, I want to put more respect on Nelson Aguilar's name because I feel as though Jalen Reagor is better than Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to put respect on Nelson Aguilar's name because he was put in a position to where though he got drafted to be on the outside, and he's not an outside guy. And I don't think Reagor is an outside guy neither.
Well, no, in the Super Bowl year, he was a slot, and he was a great slot.
That's when he had his best year. And he just had a good year last year. And watch what he do with the Patriots this year. Mike, I ain't going to lie to you. I might draft him in the fantasy.
Oh, you lost.
I'm talking about like 6 rounds.
I'm just kidding. I know.
Like, but I'm just saying, I ain't got no problem having him on my roster. I think, like, when you look at it, first of all, Patriots, they don't got that much. He's going to get a lot of.
He's going to eat over there. He's going to be one of their main guys.
But just last year over in Oakland, he didn't have a spectacular year. But
he had to delete his. He deleted his media thing too.
People in Philly, when you are a number one guy, people will grind you up to sawdust. To sawdust.
You gotta be tough.
He does. And I'm not saying that to be proud of it, because sometimes you need to probably just chill on it. But this is what Philly is.
We can't help it.
So when you look at it, when he got and I said this, I said this earlier, being in a new environment. Like I said with Deuce Staley, being in a new environment, just being around different things and having a fresh start. No pun intended to me, but having a fresh start and getting things done. Now, Rhaegar, he's not having I think he has a fresh start playing in the slot. And I think this dude is going to be explosive because let's keep it a beam. When Nelly got the ball in his hands, he was our most dynamic wide receiver.
He made some stuff happen.
He made things, even though it seemed awkward the way I hated the way he ran, but it just seemed like he was a fish out of water when he ran. But still.
How about the spin move, though?
Yeah, sometimes he spun too freaking much. but even just like I think Rhaegar is that same type of guy. Having the football in his hands and telling him, go eat, go get him in the space. And that's something that Doug Peterson never did. Just think about it. Never did. And well, I ain't gonna say never did because he did in 2017, excuse me. But that might have been Frank Wright, whatever you want to call him. So when you look at it, I think, and this is why I like Nick Sirianni, is because what he said, and this is why I'm so high on him, is the fact that he said, we're going to use you to your best ability, and things that you can't do, we're going to not take it from you, but kind of close the gate on it. If you can't do something good, we're going to work on that before we put it out there on the freaking field. We're not going to have Boston Scott fielding punts and field goals. I mean, not field goals, kickoffs. We're not going to have Greg Ward fielding freaking punts. Are you kidding me? Greg Ward? Like, to me, that was so stupid. Like, when you got a guy like Quez Watkins who could have probably took things to the house. Rhaegar, didn't he take one to the house? He did take
one to the house.
No, Rhaegar did. Rhaegar took one to the house.
That's what I'm saying. He took one and they took him out.
That's what I'm saying. And after he took one to the house, he put back Greg Ward again. It's like
yo, that is and that is, look, we can pick on his play call nitty gritty, but there were some things that Doug Peterson did that I don't even think it's not even a coaching mistake. It's like a human being. It's like common sense. It's like my wife just said, oh, he just scored a touchdown. How many does he have on a year? I said, not many, because he don't get chances. Like, how do you not do that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it seemed like he didn't want to be here. Like,
it was rough.
It seemed like he didn't want to be here. Like, it seemed like he wanted to play tug of war with Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie. And he didn't want to be. It seemed like he badly coached on purpose. I ain't gonna lie to you. That, like, when you look at it, that's what it seemed like. It seemed like he wanted the heck up out of here. You know what I mean? And good. I ain't gonna say good riddance, because obviously he brought us our you already know he brought that brain thing. You know what I mean? But at the same time, man, you can get married and still hate somebody. You know, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, man, how many people you think married and don't like each other? So I appreciate what he did, but it was time to go. It was time to go. And I think Nick Siri, man, just him talking, and we haven't spoken on this, and I want to hear y'all opinion on this. The competitive fact. Everything is the competition. And to me, when you're in a household or you're in a situation to where everything is a competition, it makes everybody better if you up for the competition. Because there's some people that's like, oh, cool, man, I'm just trying to chill. Like, I ain't trying. And I get that. But at the same time, if the majority of the group is competing every single thing, they're going to do the same thing in practice. They're going to do the same thing when they get on the field. You're going to see a friendly competition when it comes to, oh, man, oh, you did him dirty. Watch how I juke him this time. Like, stuff like that, man. And that makes a team better, and it makes them come together. because now they're having friendly, not bets, but they're having friendly competitions. And that's what Nick Siri is. That's what he's bringing to the table. Paper, rock, scissors, and all the dumb stuff. But
you just called it paper, rock, scissors.
Yeah, paper, rock, scissors. What is it? Rock,
I've always heard it.
I don't give a damn, man. I said it right. I said it my way. You hear me?
You play some paper, scissors, rock, paper, rock, scissors.
Because to me, man, paper money always come first. So yeah, I said paper, rock, scissors. So, but but in all seriousness, man, like when you look at it, what he is doing is building a culture of competition.
I love it.
And then you got the running back competition. You know what I mean? The wide receiver competition is, to me, for it to be this young is out the roof. Like, I don't think we respect, not going to say respect, but we don't appreciate how much young talent we got at the wide receiver position.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't, because we've been dying for this. When you talk about Devontae Smith, Rhaegar, Fulgham, Quez Watkins, Hightower, I ain't gonna bring up JJ. All right, so don't look at me.
Yeah, but remember when you were
a guy like Greg Ward who might not even get snaps.
Yeah,
you got a guy like Greg Ward that might not even get snaps, and we love him. Go ahead, Joe.
No, I was just gonna say I changed my mind though. I remember that one stream though, where Fresh was going at it with some of us in the chat. He was on that JJ stand. Then when we came back on the post game, he's like, I don't even know why I did that for like 30.
I'll be wrong sometimes, man. I'll be wrong sometimes. I was wrong about JJ takeaways. Yo, that might be my worst. That's my worst one. Like me sticking up for JJ is probably my worst one, man. And I want to say new coaching staff and yada yada yada. He's like red zone, but I'm not sticking my neck out for it to get chopped off again, man. I ain't doing that, man. All right. So we just gonna see, but I think he's like, what can you seriously? What can you do with him when you got these young guys? He's not better than none of these guys. So what can you really do with him except for put him out there on red zone packages? That's all you can do with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But are you gonna give up a roster spot for him? That's another point.
I mean, he's a good blocker.
Yeah, that block got him a touchdown.
Got him. But real quick, shout out to Eric G with the $5 super chat. Great chat so far, guys. Appreciate it. Now, look, we are at 1 hour and 43 minutes. Me and Gate talked a little bit before Fresh got on backstage. We were like, look.
Come on, man, like 5 minutes, man. Don't do me like that.
Man. No. Nah, I'm just saying.
I'm messing with you. Go ahead.
Our first episode of BBP back again. I don't think we're going to be able to go to distance of 3 hours. So I think we close this one up around 2 hours. So we got a good 18, 17 minutes. I mean, listen, wherever you watching this, we are live on 3 channels. When we do BBP, we're live on 3 channels. The Philly and all the channels names are right here. The Philly Talk Podcast, Gate City Sports Channel, and Philly Fresh, the general, but just put in Philly Fresh. Check them out. Hit the like button wherever you're watching it. It's free. It's easy. It don't cost a thing. But like I said, where you guys want to go? Chat. Fresh.
Hey, Ewing.
Do the check-in. Can you do the check-in before you go, yeah. Gage?
Ewing 609, man. Sorry to hear that, buddy.
Yes. E-Wing 609. Definitely. I got my prayers with you. Hey, chat, let him know. You know what I mean? Wherever he's watching it, whichever stream. Because, again, we can see all the comments from each channel. But if you're in one channel, this channel, you can't see the other guys unless we put it on the screen. But shout out to E-Wing 609 for real.
And he at day one, man. I'm sorry for your loss, brother. I really am, man.
Very.
And I can't even. Go ahead. Losing somebody is crazy. I know what it's like. Trust me. I lost so many, man. But real fast, can everybody check in? Let us know where you watching from, where you streaming from. Because we appreciate it. We be curious on where y'all at. You know what I mean?
Don't worry, we're not going to show up to your front door.
No, we don't want addresses. We just want cities. Tell me what city I'm in, man. But once again, Ewan, man, prayers go out to you, brother. Seriously.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry for your loss.
I see some. We got an Allentown.
I see Allentown. Wait, where'd it go?
Oh, it's down. You got to scroll down again.
Yeah,
it's Philly 52.
Hey, Philly 52. You're like 20 minutes from me, bro. 15 minutes from me.
Mike about to roll up on you.
Now I'm going to need the address.
He coming to the family barbecue tomorrow.
Got some North Carolinas rolling in here with me.
Where you see
I'm in Greensboro, FBI.
Oh,
What's
Wilmington.
up, in Wilmington,
North Carolina. Philly in the building. You already know that. We got Jersey. Man, y'all be everywhere. Remember we had somebody in like Japan or something? Japan.
Man, Zen, bro, they did us dirty in the College World Series, man. They did us dirty. We were the only team to get sent home for you know what virus, and then come to find out the testing was off. Man, it's a whole thing, man. They did NC State dirty for the College World Series, man.
Hey, yo, go to who's Japan? You really in Japan? I want to go to Japan so bad.
What time is it over there? Right? What time is it over there right now?
Shout out to you, man.
Shepard. What time is it?
We got Houston in the building, Philly, New Jersey,
Baltimore, Alabama.
You in Texas? What you doing out there? What you doing in Texas, man? I know it's hot as a mug out there.
I know.
North.
Hey, Messiah, you're not far from me either.
What's AL? What's AL? Hold up.
Atlanta?
No, that's ATL.
Alabama. I know. Maybe he mistaked it.
Alabama? It's AL Alabama.
It's early, Zen. It's early, man.
Uh-oh.
Vegas.
Damon says he was born in Damon was born in PA, but he moved close to relocated to North Carolina, so you might get a knock on your door, Gate.
Hey.
Oh, Alabama. Oh, you really in Alabama, Okay.
Yo, it's 8 a.m. in Japan right now, and my man got the Battle Bird podcast on. Shout out to you, eating breakfast.
Shout out to you.
Juan, what's good, man? We appreciate you, bro. We got Sven. Sven's out in Germany. He said it's, I guess, what you almost 1 o'clock in the morning, man. Whew.
Germany, damn.
Yeah.
We got Jalen. Get out of here, Jalen.
He said Cape Town.
Yo, that was crazy. Shout out from NM. What's NM?
Who?
Where we at?
R Junior. He said, "Shout out from NM."
NM, New Mexico.
Oh, New Mexico. Duh. They ain't in no Alabama, man.
Junior, how you doing, man? Yeah. I thought you were saying MM, like MM, like yeah. Like
MM. They're coming in so fast. Yeah. But yeah, shout out to you guys.
22. Where what time is it in Ireland? Anthony Perry. Yo, what's going on?
AP in the building.
Richard, that's funny, bro. Wilmington, Delaware. Hey, I know where you are, Richard, bro. I'm a Newcastle guy, man. I was born in Newcastle.
I don't know what DN is neither. Y'all know what Denver? Is that Denver?
Where is it at?
Oh, FBI.
FBI. Let me see. Oh,
I don't know, man. I can't have you on the channel, man. Feds be watching, man.
I know.
I did too much time. Feds be watching me. Shout out from Spain. Damn, Dave. Mark. Shout out to you, Spain. What time is it in Spain?
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Seriously, shout out to all of y'all, man. We love y'all, man. Seriously, like y'all show us love so freaking much, man.
Yeah, big facts.
Like, listen, dope. Like just knowing where you just seeing where y'all from, and y'all all over basically the world. Like we talking to people all over the world, man. Y'all get it?
Yeah,
the world.
The world, Craig.
The world, Craig. I was gonna say that.
Yo, man.
What's up, Richard? Yeah, it's 3:02, man.
It's 1 a.m. over there.
Jalen said he want to talk a little safeties. You want to bring him in real fast for the last 10 minutes?
If
He
you
said he
want,
didn't want to come on last time I tried to get him on.
Jalen, you want to come on?
He said he just want to make comments.
You want to come on?
but yo, real quick. Hey, yeah, man, and it's crazy. Like one of my guys who rock with me almost every Sixer stream I do, called Drummer Boy. He lives in Germany as well, and it's like when we watch the games, I'm watching at 7:00. He's watching at like 10:00 in the morning. I'm like, what? Like,
that's crazy.
It's crazy. Like we watch a basketball game at 7. He's like, I'm all, and you know,
like drinking anything. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's the thing. I'd be like if it's a stream throughout the week, I don't drink because of work. But if on a Friday stream I'm drinking, he's like, yeah, I'm drinking some coffee. It's 9 in the morning.
Just woke up, man. Just put a call out my eyes, man.
Yeah.
Tampa, you got Super Yoda.
Shout out to BirdGang31 with the $4.99 super chat. He also is a new YouTuber. He got Eagles content. All you gotta do is type in BirdGang31. Check my guy out. He said, "Love you guys." Bama. He said, "BirdGang Sports Talk got mad love and respect. Need to get on with y'all guys." With you guys, shout out to you, man. Definitely. BBP. Once we start getting rolling, we'll have some call-ins. We'll have some, some other content creators come on with us, and definitely, we'll do some call-ins for quick segments and stuff.
Yeah, we'll have to do some guest spots too, like we used to do. You gotta remember how we used to highlight some of the younger content creators and bring y'all on. So we'll work something out, guys.
Yeah. We definitely made a living off that, and a lot of people appreciate what we did, and I appreciate them for coming on, man, and keep grinding. Shout out to you. I didn't know that you had a page. I'm gonna ask Mike to bring you back up, and I'm gonna look you up, and I'm definitely gonna sub to you. But here's the thing.
Real quick. He's not from Germany. I forgot where he's from. Now I'm glad he isn't like the Eagles. Because he'd be watching it. He's like, yo, I talk to you all the time, but you don't remember where I'm from, but it'd be in the morning.
All right, so I'm definitely gonna subscribe, and I definitely shout you out. But only one thing I ask: be consistent, brother. Be consistent. This is what this thing is about: being consistent. It's about giving them the real you. You know what I mean? Make sure that you don't shortchange nobody. Try to be somebody that you ain't, and you'll be just fine. And I got your back. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. What's up, Splash? Coming in from Newark, Delaware. I hear you out there in Newcastle County, man.
Facts. So Jalen, we got about good 7 to 10 minutes. Go ahead and start this safety talk.
Put it this way. I'm gonna start it off by saying that's the one position that we have a problem at, that after next year, there's nobody on this roster who's shown to be a starting safety.
You don't like Kayvon?
Tell me what he's good at.
Talking on Twitter.
I think he's good at hawking the ball. He's not a free safety. I think he's a strong safety. I think
he's good at what?
Hawking the ball. I think he's a strong safety. I seen him in a championship game give hell to people. You know what I mean? I'm
talking about at the NFL level.
No. I get what you're saying, but we do know that defense was trash, bro.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Right position, right?
Now I'll say it like
Darius
this:
Slay looked bad. Yes or no?
Ish.
Yeah.
Ish.
Bad and for a 4-game stretch. I'm not gonna
I'll say it like this. Darius Slay looked real good for the majority of the season.
Yeah, he did.
He just had a bunch of bad
matchups. Go ahead.
I think he had 3 bad matchups. That was against Devontae and DK, and it was one more.
It was Devontae, DK.
It was in consecutive weeks.
Yeah, it was 4. It was 4 weeks. He was bad.
Yeah.
It was Devontae, DK, Hopkins,
Yeah.
He was bad against Hopkins.
Yep.
And it was somebody else I can't remember. But yeah, but all the rest of the games that he played, he was good.
He was straight. Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm looking at is, all right, we got McLeod coming back, coming off of ACL. He has 1 year left on his deal. He's 32 years old. You signed Harris. He's 30. If I'm not mistaken, he's 29 or 30, one of the two.
29.
He's on a 1 year deal. You get what I'm saying? That's a veteran safety. You know what he is. He's not going to be a dramatic difference maker. That year he had all those picks, it was because of, I guess you'd say, where he was versus him forcing them. You get what I'm saying? Then you have Kayvon Wallace. Hey, I like Kayvon as a person. I know where he come from. He's from Holland Springs. So my thing is, I want to see him do well. But the thing is, I haven't seen him do anything. Oh, damn, he popped out, you know. Show me his splash play.
He wasn't given much time. And the one game, I think the first game he actually got time. I mean, it's a setup, man. He had to go against George Kittle.
I know.
They put him out there on the island.
But I'm saying, with all of our, even when McLeod went down, he got a bunch more reps. When did he make a difference then? I understand we have a totally bad secondary, but in addition to just being in the secondary, you have to feel. I didn't see him feel.
But here's the thing, McLeod is a free safety. I don't think that Kayvon Wallace is a free safety.
He comes in. No, I'm not saying he came in as a free safety.
No, he played majority snaps. Actually, he's free.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I thought he came in as the third safety.
When McLeod got hurt, he took over for McLeod.
Exactly.
And he's not a free safety. He's a strong safety. That's like that. That's what I'm saying.
So wait a minute. Who was the third safety at the beginning of last year?
The beginning.
Because it wasn't Wallace.
No, it was the kid from Minnesota.
Epps, Skip Bob.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
I know you're talking about. I can't remember the
But
dude.
the fact that he was starting as your third safety over Kayvon Wallace, and it was like that for the majority of the season.
Yes.
But how many? Can I ask this? And I'll let you go, Gates. How many people that we seen starting over people that shouldn't have been starting? Jordan Mailata should have been starting, right? You know what I mean? Whatchamacallit should have been starting over Nathan Gary. TJ Edwards should have been starting over Nathan Gary. To me, that's on coaching. That's not on the players to me.
But here's the thing I'm saying. And I apologize for all this like ringing in the background. It's my dog. He playing.
I don't hear nothing.
All right, good. The thing I'm talking about is when those guys got in, they flashed, they popped, they showed you something. Kayvon hasn't shown me anything. When I'll say it like this: when Kayvon was at Clemson, I don't think he was particularly a difference maker on that defense. I think he played his role every time he was called, and it was just him one-on-one doing his assignment. He was really good at that. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying he was. What's his name? Simmons. Okay, you're 6'4", you're blitzing, and I come up with a pick because I'm 6'4". I jump high and I came from depth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I will give you that. Safety, going forward is going to be a big question marks. But again, if you look at this team, it all comes back to drafting better and making better decisions overall. I as you guys said, he played free safety. That was kind of putting him out of his element, and that's what Gannon is going to do. You know what I mean? Think about it. Let's look at Patrick Chung. Started with the Patriots. Oh, this guy is good. Signs with the Eagles. I'm excited for him to play. He's trash. Goes back to New England. And oh, by the way, he's good again. It's putting that player in positions that he's going to excel in. And Kayvon Wallace has his strengths mainly as a box safety. He's not going to really offer that much in coverage in the deep area. And so I think we do need to get someone there. And Gate and Fresh and and even you, we talked about safety being a low key need in this draft. We didn't touch on it though. That's definitely gonna have to be in the future. Remember, was it again that crazy second round pick when we had JOK on the board, Rig was on the board, right? The safety out of TCU.
Yeah, they're not gonna. I don't think the Eagles are gonna spend top 60 pick on safety. I mean, trust me, I wish it would happen. I just don't have any faith that it'll occur. If they're going to get a guy that's going to be in the 3rd or 4th round, they're going to have to find a steal. That's what it just feels like to me.
And I'll say it like this: Cisco was in the 3rd, was available in the 3rd round.
Yeah, he
Andre
was.
Cisco.
Yeah, he was.
And that was a guy I was really high on.
Mm-hmm. Ball hawk.
Yeah, I mean, he was first round talent.
When it comes to defensive and offensive line, and then you got a guy that's might be transitional or might be this or might be that, but there's still question marks about him. They're always going to go with the offensive defensive line. That's why, to me, I wasn't mad at the Landon Dickerson pick. I'm still not mad at the Landon Dickerson pick because I know what this organization values, and we've seen that in the 2nd and 3rd round. Offensive line, defensive line. That's what this organization values, and they've been doing that since Andy Reid been here.
Andy Reid brought it because Andy Reid's voice was heavy, and I think we still run the same core values that Andy Reid had, and I'm okay with it. So like when everybody talks about Andy Reid, I'm sorry I'm getting off of topic a little bit about being like the failure and stuff. Like he's still, Peterson got the ring, but the culture that Andy Reid brought is still used to this day. It's instilled, and I love it. That's where you got to start.
Yeah, I mean, I don't view Andy Reid as a failure. I mean, 5 NFC championships and a Super Bowl and a decade of dominating a division. Like, hard to say that he was a failure. You know what I mean? But the way it ended was bad.
It was bad. He had to go.
In training camp, what happened, and it just
They need to come back. They need to come back to Lehigh with these training camps too. Like, why? I was so mad they took that away.
All right, so before we get out of here, because we are at 2 hours now, because of you are offensive lineman, we gotta. Well, I'm gonna say I gotta ask you a couple questions. How you feel about the offensive line? How do you feel about Landon Dickerson? Do you think that what position would you want Landon Dickerson to play? That's what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna ask all y'all that, and then we're gonna get up out of here.
Go ahead, Jalen.
First one, I'm going to say the offensive line as a whole, I think it's pretty good. I'm not going to say it's top 5. The reason why I'm not going to say it's top 5 is because all of those guys are getting older. They're coming off of injuries. I would not be surprised if I saw some regression. You get what I'm saying?
You got us top 12?
Huh? Yeah, I have a top 12. Well, you as in I have us top 12. But the problem is, okay, these injuries, these contract numbers, the kicking the can down the road philosophy. How? Because we can't get out of Lane Johnson's contract until what, 2026?
Yeah.
That's scary.
It feels like that.
He gonna be what, 36?
38-ish.
Let me just take a look at the numbers real quick on that one, because that one it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And Mike, I know we kind of looked at 2 different spectrums on it. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about.
That is unexplained. That's bad. Listen, when Lane Johnson got paid, I was like, listen, I love him. He's one of the best right tackles, and I don't care about giving him that type of money per year.
He was the best.
Yeah. Again, when he got paid, it was like, I wasn't really doing this, but I didn't care about the money per year. I thought it was crazy how long it was. I said, man, this is his 2nd contract. Like, you can't do that long. I like the yearly paid, the guarantees even okay, but I said, what?
Mike, his dead money for this year. Now, mind you, they could June 1st would have divided it up to where most of that money would have been hit next year, right? But the dead money this year was $46 million on Lane Johnson.
How is that even possible? He's not a freaking quarterback.
$46 million.
That's quarterback numbers.
Yeah, it's 28-3 next year. It's 28-3.
That's what I'm saying. Because he kicked the can down a freaking.
Well, no, he didn't really kick his can.
He restructured again this year.
Hey, Bird Game, Bird Game 31. I'm about to not follow you. $46 million. Nobody's worth that unless you're a freaking franchise quarterback.
He said no. He said it before Gates
I'm
said
messing
that.
with you. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with him, man.
I know. But no, real quick, I want to say this though. Lane, again, I don't. That wasn't really a kick the can down the road thing. He just gave him.
Yes, it was.
He did. He restructured him again.
Yeah, he restructured this year. Because remember, we didn't restructure Brandon Brooks.
Oh yeah, it was Brandon
Yeah,
Brooks.
he
He didn't restructure.
restructured twice in 2 years.
Exactly.
I think I understand
Twice
Howie's
in 2
comment better
years.
now. You remember when Howie said we don't need Lane to restructure? I don't think it's that we don't need Lane to restructure. I think it's that we can't afford for Lane to restructure.
Yeah.
That's what Howie was saying.
But he went ahead and did it again. I mean, oh, you talking about Brandon Brooks?
If they restructure again, he's gonna end up owning a percentage of the franchise. Here,
Exactly. They're gonna have to pay him in like legitimately. They're gonna have to actually
they're
sell
gonna pay him
that
in stock.
Yeah, you gonna have that stock option, bro.
Yeah.
Seriously, man, he's gonna be on some Michael Jordan stuff, man.
Yeah.
He's playing and owning some of the team.
With that contract, Howie can't tell him to shut up and play. Like he
No, not at all.
No.
That's weird.
Nah.
All right, so real fast, Jalen. So how you feel about Landon Dickerson? Did we talk about this?
I don't think. No, we didn't talk about this. The way I feel about Landon Dickerson is, I think you can find another center going forward. And what I mean by that is, centers tend to get devalued. You get what I'm saying? In the draft. They don't tend to go first round. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you want to go that route and find another center, that's fine. It's all about
Zach
where
Martin.
you play.
Who was he?
Who?
Zach Martin.
Zach Martin.
I thought he was first round, wasn't he?
Come on, Dallas is offensive guard.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
a guard. Never mind. I thought he was a center. My bad.
But I'll say it like this. Some of them get first round, picked in the first round, run the 16th pick. But you see guards and you see tackles, they slide in right there at 12. 16 is the highest I've ever seen a center go. Then sometimes you see him drop into what's the dude name? O'Shaughnessy or Hennessy, Matt Hennessy, something like that. Remember, he got drafted 28. Those are the guys that's like, oh, no way in the world anybody else is even close to him, and the team has a major need at center. That's when centers get drafted. But the fact that Dickerson has experience playing left, right, guard, a little bit of tackle, that made him more valuable than just a center to me. Plus,
but I will say you were onto something though, Fresh. You were onto something. You missed a player. It's Travis Frederick.
Oh yeah. That's what I meant.
He was the 31st pick. Yeah.
Thank God he retired.
Yeah. At 29.
31st pick, right?
He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I knew they center was first round pick, but I don't give a freak about Dallas, so I
Don't watch Hard Knocks.
I'm not watching that bull crap.
Now, what I'm excited for is for Fletcher Cox to pick on Connor Williams and what's the dude, Biedish or whatever the new center is.
Yeah, the one that we gave him when we traded.
Yep. Because guess what? They not ready for Fletcher Cox one-on-one. Neither one of them. So, but I will say it like this. Our secondary is not going to run with the wide receivers. Just being honest.
Yeah,
well, they don't have to if the scheme is right.
My guy Shaquille Taylor stepping in there and taking.
I'll say it like this: it's more ways to get around a pass rush than it is to cover up a bad secondary. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Quick stuff over the middle. Not quick stuff over the quick swing passes, stuff to make you go east to west, stuff to keep you off balance. As soon as your D-line is not getting upfield, okay, I'm going to set back. I'm going to start my 7-step drops, because guess what? They're pausing for that half a second, and that's sometimes all you need to get a deep completion down the field. That's where the gamesmanship comes in. But the question is, can Mike McCarthy, coach his way out plastic bag.
Trash.
He's
Trash.
bad. I'm sorry, he's bad.
And I love the new D coordinator that they're hyping up. Quinn. I can't wait to see the coaching debacle they have now.
I say it like this.
What's his name?
Dan Quinn. One thing that's not talked about Dan Quinn, he had 3 Hall of Famers on that Seattle defense.
Yeah.
So don't sit here and tell me that, he's a good coach. No, he had 3 Hall of Famers that covered up for him a lot of stuff. That allowed you to run the same stuff over and over and over
He's just
and over again.
He's just going to play single high, and that's the thing. He's going to leave these
Cover
young
3,
Dallas corners. He's gonna leave these corners on the island. If we thought Jaquette was getting beat by himself, now listen, we had Slay on the other side who got beat up a little bit, but Trayvon Diggs is an up and coming player. I like him, but Diggs on the one side and whoever they start on the opposite side, whether it's Brown or that rookie boss man Fat that they keep trying to push in my face, their corners are gonna they're gonna be hurting.
I'll say it like this. They're going to struggle with pass rush this year, but no one's going to be saying that. I like, what's the dude name? DeMarcus Lawrence. But the thing is, he's not the best pass rusher in the league. You get what I'm saying? He's the best run stopper. He's not the best pass rusher. You get what I'm saying? All he has is that cross chop. He doesn't have too much speed to power.
They overpaid, dude.
20 mil.
I won't say they overpaid him. If you look at it from what they
since they paid him, he has been on a decline.
I disagree.
Pass rushing, he has like 6 sacks.
No.
Like 3 years, 2 years.
If you want to talk about pass rushing, I'm right there with you. But if you want to say for the run game, he is special as a run stopping DN.
Yeah, but they were 31st in run defense last year.
But guess what? They didn't run to him.
I know. They had problems up front in their D tackle and area.
As soon as you get movement on the D tackles, you work your way up to Smith. Smith is not a big guy. Yes, he's very sudden. He can hit you. But the thing is, other than that, you gashing him. That was the game plan.
Yeah. But hey, real quick, shout out to the Nest Out West, who's a Eagles content creator in his own right. Great content, holding down the West Coast. Listen, we let Jalen on. This is one of our day ones channel members to all of us. And every time we talk offensive line and stuff like that, we get him on here. But we were supposed to get off 12 minutes ago, and we're going to get off. But what we are going to do is Battlebirds podcast. Once you get back and going, we like to do that where we take a legit content creator and we let you rock out with us the whole time. So we got a couple guys that we want to get on here. Maybe a Bergang 31, Nest Out West, JC Eagle Talk. We'll be talking to you guys to get you on here to rock out with us our whole stream. Greatly appreciated all the Eagles content out there. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I'll be at work and I don't be want to listen to Undisputed or First Take talk about the same thing over and over. I like them every once in a while, but I gotta listen to something else. You know what I mean? So shout out to you guys.
I need my 4-hour BBP, man.
I know, but listen, the first time you get back into it, you know what I mean? You gotta take it.
I definitely get it.
Yeah, but man, but here's the thing. Ain't nobody want to look at that black screen for 4 hours, man.
Hey.
That's all I'm saying.
No, put it this way. I'm multitasking. I'm walking around. I'm with the dog. He making sure he getting out of trouble. I got a little puppy.
Crazy. The first time I ever went live with Steve and Mike, I didn't know that people could see me. I'm walking around. I got the phone on the floor. I'm doing this. I'm working out. I'm doing all this stuff. I didn't know people could see me. I don't know because they had did a live like the day before. Like the week before, and I think something was wrong with their cameras or something.
Mine.
Yeah. So I'm thinking it's like that for me too. I watched back on the playback. I'm like, yo, they can see everything that I was doing. Like I'm on the steps talking, and it was crazy, man. So join the club, man. That's all. You already know. But it's definitely time for us to get up out of here, man. We went longer than we were supposed to.
Extra 15. More money in the bank. That's all.
I wish.
Yeah.
But
see a
Gambler,
couple questions. I think it was
definitely appreciate you. Go ahead, Steve.
Dwight Davis. Hey, look, man, I'm not gonna get into a long, outdrawn conversation about Dallas, but I'm gonna tell you, I think you're overly confident in the Cowboys' offensive line because the fact remains, Tyrone Smith hasn't played a complete season since 2015, and Lyle Collins is coming back from a pretty serious hip injury. Those aren't just things to just laugh over, man. You keep saying Dallas's offensive line is healthy. Last time Dallas's offensive line was healthy was 2015, man. Like, just be real with you. Add on top of that, you got a young center, and you got some suspect guard play. I mean, you got one guy that can play. I mean, I'm not going to take away from Zach Martin, but the rest of your team it's a little it's up and down, man. You got a guy that is on the downside of his career in Tyrone Smith, who used to be a really great tackle. You got another guy that's talented, but hey, man, he couldn't make it through the pain last year and had to have surgery right before the season started. That's not something just to go over lightly. That can end the guy's career.
Yeah.
Well,
and I'll say it like this. Just real quick. For a hip injury as an offensive tackle, that's your life. So he might not even be the same, even if he is 100% healthy. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but I'm giving him benefit of the doubt he's going to be the same player.
Big facts, big facts. With that being said, the first Battle Birds podcast back like we never left. Shout out to Victory with the super chat the end. Great pod, fellas. Good to see you guys. Good to see Jalen up in here too. And he means literally. Glad you put the camera on for a quick second. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate you. 2 hours and 16 minutes long for our first DDP. Remember, the rest of the way till training camp, to the preseason until week 1, we will be trying to go every single Saturday. We're going to try our best. If we miss a Saturday, maybe we drop it to a Sunday or Friday. But remember, once the season rolls up on us, we go to an hour before the game. And I promise you, I don't want to promise you nothing, but we can't have nothing like last year because every pregame was exciting and every postgame we were pissed. It was bad. It was bad.
Hey, real fast, man, before we get out of here, shout out to all of y'all. I don't really celebrate holidays, but I know 4th of July is tomorrow, so happy 4th to all of y'all. You know what I mean? I appreciate everybody. If you don't know, go to my page, go check out the merch. It's in the description on this video. All you gotta do is click that little arrow. It's like a little arrow right down there in the description. Click on it, man. Go check the merch out. Appreciate all of y'all. I appreciate Steve. I appreciate
and the white junk clean, man.
Hey, man, don't tell me about it. You know what I mean?
I'll show you about it, right?
he's like, hold on, that's why I put the camera off. I'm switching into it right now.
But I definitely appreciate y'all 3 guys, man. BBP for life. You already know how we get down. Yo, that.
Go ahead, Gate and Jalen. Say your good. Say your goodbyes.
Say your goodbyes.
Bye, people.
I'm tired.
All right, y'all, man. We appreciate y'all stopping in, guys. We're trying to get this started back up, get it back into rotation, guys. We appreciate all y'all coming in, even you guys that are coming in from Cowboys. I saw some Seahawk fans. I seen some just generalized football fans that you didn't necessarily throw up who your team was, but you just like to talk generalized football. We appreciate y'all stopping in too, and we'll see y'all next Saturday.
Big facts. With that being said, I haven't said this in a while because I don't say it no more. At the end of the day,
what?
I don't even say that no more. I
ain't noticed that when I watch your videos online. You definitely don't be saying that no more.
I don't say that. Go ahead. Nah, you're good. Listen, wherever you're watching this, we are live on 3 different channels: Philly Talk Podcast, Gate City Sports Channel, and Philly Fresh, the general. Got that fresh merch. Go check it out. Hit the like button. The like button goes a long way. You just don't understand how great the like button is. It is free. It's easy. It don't cost a thing. Yo, that we are out. Peace.